How to control Resolume Arena from GrandMA3. I'm going to take you through the process of how you can do this using Artnet. The first thing we're gonna do is to connect all our devices together via network cables. You can of course do this all internally on one computer if your computer is extremely powerful, but I run two separate laptops and that's what I'm going to be showing today. So I have a network cable going from the laptop that's running Resolume. It goes into my network switch, which is also connected to my GrandMA node. I also have a network cable going from this computer to the same network switch, so everything is connected. You can download both GrandMA3 OnPC and Resolume Arena, the trial version, for free, but you will not be able to connect them with Artnet if you don't have any MA3 hardware, because the MA3 OnPC doesn't output DMX or Artnet or anything like that without any hardware, so just keep that in mind. So the next thing you're gonna do is to just set up the Artnet ports, if you will, in your network's preferences. I have mine here. And I believe the most common IP range for Artnet is 2 and 10, so I use 2.0.11 and subnet mask 255.0.0.0. And it's important that you do this on all devices that you have connected, like that is going to communicate via the Artnet. So you need to do this on, in this case, this computer and also on this computer. Now we're gonna go into GrandMA3. I have opened a new clean show file here just for the purpose of this video. We're gonna go into our patch. We're gonna search for Resolume. And then we find some fixtures that Resolume themselves have made. We can see it's been tested by MA. For this video, I will just use the V5 layer automap. You should probably just test them all and see what works best for your workflow and your purpose. So we select this and we select universe 15.1. We'll get back to why in a second. Great. We can probably just store this in a group. There we go. So the next thing we're gonna do now is to just set up the whole Artnet configuration. We're gonna go into DMX protocols in our settings. We're gonna select Artnet data 1 and we're gonna select local universe 15. This is the universe in GrandMA, which we set on universe 15 on the fixture file. We're gonna select Artnet subnet 15 and universe 15. You can set this to broadcast or auto. And it's very important here that you select the interface that you set up in your system preferences, like in your network settings, so that it knows where to send this data. Enable the output. And hit that the Artnet data 1 is actually enabled. So the next thing we should do now is to go into Resolume. We click preferences. The first thing we're gonna do is to open up the monitor, like the DMX monitor. Here we can see all the signals coming into Resolume, which will be very handy in a second. We can also select between 16 different universes and subnets. I select 15, and the reason why I use 15 is that I don't want any potential collision with fixtures at venues, and so I want to put it as high as I can, but the 15 is the highest that Resolume offers. It's very important that we select the right network adapter based on the network preferences we set up earlier on this computer. I've called this network adapter Thunderbolt Ethernet because it's a Thunderbolt dongle going to this computer. And we set up a Lumiverse as well, and we select subnet 15 and universe 15, just like we did in MA3. So just to test that it's working now, we can look at the monitor where it says DMX data. And we can try to move the dimmer of our Resolume. And we see that the first channel is moving. That means that we get signal to Resolume from GrandMA3 now. So the last thing we're going to do now is to just map the different parameters in the GrandMA3 to the different parameters in Resolume Arena. So how you do this is that you hit shortcuts, edit DMX, and then we just click on whatever button we want to control. I will start, for example, with the opacity for the first layer. I click this, and then, for example, I can hit dimmer number 2, which is called opacity, on this fixture in the GrandMA3. I just move this a little bit, and we see that we have created the shortcut in Resolume. we can go out of the DMX editor, and if we move the opacity in GrandMA now, we see that the opacity on the layer moves. The next thing we're gonna do is maybe, for example, find a way to select different clips. And this is really cool about the custom fixture that Resolume has made, because if you go to Gobos, you find this thing called Clipselect. And here they have made all these like pre-made channel sets, which is entry 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And if we go into the shortcuts tab on Resolume again, and we hit Edit DMX, we can select this little button, which appears when we go to the shortcuts editor. Click this, and then we just do something with this wheel, and then we see we have a shortcut on the clip selector in Resolume. Close this again. And now if we select, for example, clip entry 2, we see that it's changing in Resolume to the second clip in our layer. So now we have mapped 2 parameters, and I mean, you can map all these things around as you like, and if there is any special feature you want or any special control that this doesn't offer for some reason, you can always just add a dimmer in your patch and then map this the same way. So I would say the best way to use this particular fixture file is to just make one fixture per layer in Arena, and then you can do all sorts of things. Like you can also, for example, control the scaling and the positioning and rotation of the clips, and yeah, it's very simple. So again, you just hit Edit DMX and you hit whatever parameter you want, and yeah, there you got it. So that was my explanation to how you can control Resolume Arena with GrandMA3, and I hope this video was helpful.